Journey to the Heart of God, reading from section 5. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Now, the badges had been taken care of. She unzipped the backpack and saw the weight of things she had carried. There were cards with words crossed out. This made her smile because she knew he'd already rescued her from so many past weights and burdens. She continued to unpack the memories and the parts of her story that were no longer a burden to her. Seeing his hand in it all created a heart of thankfulness. Some of her cards read eating disorder, marital struggle, resentment, low self-esteem, anxiety. All of these things he'd walked beside her and delivered her from the weight of. Her teenage struggle with anxiety, he took the entire weight of it in her early 20s. Year 7 of marriage, he rescued her from the burden of bitterness. 15 years ago, when her third child was born and his lungs could not function independently, in this place of desperation, he began rescuing her from anxiety and fear. She whispered, "Look at what you have done in me." "I have more for you, if you choose it," he spoke tenderly. For a moment, she thought she could stay here. The thought ran through her mind. After all, she was free from the eating disorder that had entrapped her. Her marriage was thriving and had been for many years. And while anxiety may creep in, it was not her master anymore. Yet, she wanted more of his heart, more of his love. She wanted to go deeper, to go wherever he may lead. But to move on, she must give him her burden. She began to unpack them one by one. The burdens. People-pleasing. As a writer, friend, wife, mom, sister, daughter, co-worker, she wanted people to like her, and she spent too much time trying to please those around her instead of simply resting in the fact that God made her and he loves her. The swirl of unknowns. Oh gosh, here we go. The fear of the future, letting her teens grow up and make their own choices. Have we prepared them, she thought. Will they choose Jesus? What college will they go to? Will they get the scholarship they want? Will they overcome their struggles? Will they make wise choices? Who will they date and marry? Will they be okay when they leave? Will I be okay when they leave? The list goes on. Every day, in so many areas, having faith despite the unknowns is a choice she must continually choose. Rejection. Rejection lingered in her heart. There was a list of rejections she remembered and could dwell on if she allowed herself to. Choosing to forgive, she moved on from this pain. Another burden. Stress, the schedule, being enough, her battle with distraction. There was so much life going on in her home. All of her kids were achievers. All of them had dreams. The stress of getting everyone where they needed to be and supporting them could feel so overwhelming that she forgot to enjoy all the fun they were having with the dreams and hobbies. Stress could steal the best version of herself, that version she wanted to give to her children. One by one, she gave him these burdens, these things. Freer than she ever remembered, he wrapped her in his arms, completely known and completely loved is what he offered her in exchange for all her patches and burdens. His love engulfed her heart in a fresh, new way. A peace washed over her, knowing she did not have to carry these things anymore. Jesus' relationship with God the Father is, of course, absolutely unique. But experientially, we are invited into the same intimacy with God the Father that Jesus, knew while here in the flesh. We are encouraged to crawl into the Father's lap and receive his love and comfort and healing and strength. We can laugh, we can weep freely and openly. We can be hugged and find comfort in his arms, and we can worship deeply within his spirit. That's from Richard Foster. What hurtful things do you tell yourself? What addiction or struggle do you need help to overcome? What burdens do you have? What relationship needs healing? What burden do you feel from another person? Can you give him all these things? Your relationships that need mending? The hurtful words or labels that you have put on yourself? The addiction you feel that you need to overcome? The burdens you feel? Can you lay them at his feet? The challenge is the simplicity of giving our burdens to Jesus by saying a simple prayer over and over again. Jesus, I take off my backpack and I give you each burden, naming them by name. I give you all the burdens I carry, and in exchange, fill my heart with your love. In Jesus' name.